Thank you very much, Martin, for joining the podcast Business Breakthrough. It's really nice to have you here. We have recently, obviously, met and discussed a lot of things regarding AI. And obviously, you have your own AI company. And, it's a privilege to have you here. So would you mind maybe by opening up and sharing about what is it you do so people can get to know you a little bit more and about what is it like you have the products and the AI and everything?
Yeah, sure. Thanks for having me here, Vince. And it's really nice to meet you again. Well, to wrap it up, we're located in Prague in Czech Republic. And basically, we started a tiny little company, uh, and it's been running for about 3 years. So we started with automations, implementations of AI into backend processes of companies. And we quickly realized it is not actually scalable at all, because every single client, you need to put a lot of effort. You need to do a data analysis, all the audits, and go through all of their sort of mess they're having in the background of their companies and their processes. So we realized, okay, well, it will be way better to do a box solution and start on a SaaS. So as a bootstrap, it is really hard because we are only two people in our company, me and my business partner and actually life partner as well. So we used power of AI agents to actually AI assisted coded our own software, which name is Xroad Studio. And Xroad Studio is really a tool, a simplified tool to help you with the online presence and content distribution. First, we did not really realize that because we wanted a tool that help ourselves with the production and creation of the content, because that was the main bottleneck and pain point we struggled with, being visible online. And we realized, okay, maybe we can create something similar. So we did. And throughout the development and throughout the way and communication with other people, other business owners, we realized, okay, it's not that side of the creation that is the biggest bottleneck. It is the distribution side of it, to get your content out there and share it with people, because that's most time consuming part of it. If you take it, your content, for example, until you schedule it, you sort everything out and you send it out to all of the people, all of the channels, you spend at least 5-6 hours a week to do it, or someone else you're hiring for that job. So that was a big pain point. And for Bootstrap, it was like, okay, well, we cannot really afford $4,000 a month for someone who will treat our content this way. So we need to build something for ourselves. So that's how we actually leverage AI to build ourselves a software that is capable of doing this stuff. It's really amazing what you can do nowadays.
Mm-hmm. Perfect. Thank you very much for sharing. So talk me a little bit more about the Xroad Studio. So I've tested it myself, and then I check some of the things. So one of the things you mentioned that obviously it creates some content. Some obviously there are options, images, videos. But you said that the biggest problem is not the creation part, but it's more the distribution part. So what actually does it do, like in terms of distributions? If I'm, or let's say, client of that, obviously because most of the people, they didn't use it yet, how does it work? If let's say I'm a one-man band, I don't have the money really to hire my employee, or so they do all the content. So how is it helping me as a small business owner? Let's say I'm a self-employed or small business owner with my distribution. What can I do from that in there, and what can I expect?
It's really simple. You either can create content within an Xroad Studio, so you can use some of the models we are using for generating pictures, your text that are specific to each platform. For example, LinkedIn looks way different than your captions for TikTok or Instagram. Then you got all of your content prepared and all of your assets prepared, and you can use a calendar and schedule them up all the way up to 2, 3, weeks, 1 month, whatever you need to. So main power of it is you got it everything under one tap. So you don't have to use one tool for creation, then jumping into Canva for some updates or doing a B-rolls, and then another one for scheduling. You keep it all under one roof. So it's not like 15, 20 different tabs and jumping in between. That way you lose another 2 hours and content is still not out there. For example, last week, I realized Sunday, it was about 11 p.m. and I realized, oh, I don't have any content. It's not prepared for next week. So I jumped into Xroad and I had my content in my iPhone. I just uploaded, created captions, created descriptions, and posted out to 4 different platforms. We mainly using TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook business page. So that's the whole point of it. It's really simple. We actually support 9 different social media platforms to post it on. So that's a
Yes.
really good thing.
Yeah. What I like about the platform, it was that you can actually upload your brand kit. Like you have there different kits. So if you already have the colors, you have already your kind of identity as a brand. So you can you have there the section where, hey, this is my brand kit. So every time go with that kind of a color, so it's not disconnected, because obviously sometimes it can be challenging if you use different platforms, or with the colors especially, to kind of match what you want to do. So if it's already there, one setup, it's there. I actually tried it. I used it today, so it was really good to do the post in that color. The another question I would have, because at the moment we are speaking like, okay, we have a client which is, let's say, small business owner, someone who, or it can be obviously even a big business owner, doesn't matter. When it comes to, let's say, agencies, so let's imagine that I am managing social media for another people. So can I basically have like an agency access, so I can link to multiple Facebook? Like I have 5 clients, so it'll be linked to 5 different Facebooks under. How does it work in that scenario?
It is really simple. It was made even for agencies, not really big agencies, because they already have their own tools and enterprise plans, etc. But with an Xroad, you can actually have multiple different clients. You mentioned BrandKit. BrandKit on a higher plans, you can have more people, so more your customers can have different branding, their different logo, different colors, their tone of voice, and all of that. We are still adding more features and developing more, so it's more precise. And you can switch in between company A, company B, company X, and you can actually serve your customers. Same with the posting and scheduling part. You can actually connect their social media and post for them. For Instagram, it is Meta compliances, so you need to have business account. Same for the Facebook page, you need to have Facebook Manager, etc. It doesn't really allow you to post on the personal side of that thing, as it is a Meta requirements for that. But other than that, you can actually serve up to 15, 20 customers, no problem at all.
And so what is it, for example, your goal with this company? Like, obviously you created for a reason, so what is it you would like to accomplish with that company at the moment?
With Xroad, we would like to expand. We would like to serve more customers and get as much as the possible impact outside. Because obviously you can see all of the social media content is getting really sloppy, especially in an AI age. You can see that's not really a good thing. And in a social media field, you can recognize whoever is showing his face and real impact, real world photos. You're meeting people, you're attending events, you're having speeches, you're on a podcast. That's what the people actually want. With an Xroad, you can actually upload these pictures and do them a little switch, update them a little bit, with the AI, maybe put some infographics on it, or maybe put some different colors, or do a B-roll or whatever you want, and you can post it out. The main thing we really want is expand on the North American market, because North American customers, they are really good in the social media. Only problem is we are locked inside of EU. So for most of the social media, we don't really have a outreach except YouTube. That's giving us some of the US audience. So we're trying to reach them, but it is long run. It's marathon. It's not quarter mile, you know. So we're trying to push it as much as we can, but it is a long-term game. It is not really a short-term game.
What do you mean by like you don't have a reach to USA? In what sense? Like if you post on social media from your company and from your accounts, or how?
For example, if you're on a TikTok, let's say, that's where a certain part of audience is on a TikTok, but TikTok geolocates you to the Central Europe. It gives you neighboring countries. It gives you UK, gives you Poland, Germany, Austria, Italy, etc. But it will never allow you to go west on a US market. That's the main issue we're actually fighting with. We try some things to overcome that, but it is fairly complicated.
You try like there are different proxies to be in those countries, but it doesn't work. Or
different proxies, but TikTok's algorithm is quite smart actually. You need to act like you're within US. So for registration, you need to have wallet US phone number. You need separate device. Your iPhone need to be locked to American App Store only. You need to post in a certain times. You need to stick to certain rules so TikTok doesn't really see you. And you make one little mistake, it will punishes you, and just it's over. It's really complicated, especially for TikTok. Instagram, once you grow it over a certain part, it is actually more generous. Same with Facebook, but YouTube, in my opinion, is the best platform to actually go with.
okay. So I just would like to point out, like, for example, on Instagram, I have a few Instagram kind of experts who are working on mine. And then, like if you would want to target only people in the USA, an audience with a certain service, I'm not saying you're going to reach too many people, but it's 500 to 1,000 people from where you want, from the niche you want. It can be USA based. Okay. So that can be done. It's actually not as expensive when it's come to investment to that. So this is one thing actually which I can introduce you to someone. And then the other, so I was thinking, obviously I don't know much about TikTok, but isn't it just having connection in USA and someone posting from the US?
Yeah, basically that's it. We found that best approach to this is actually ask some of the guys within US and okay, well, we can do some sort of business with you and you can actually post our content to spread a message out. So that's the obviously easiest way than doing a workaround.
You lived in Canada, right, for a long time?
Yeah. I lived about 8 years in Western Canada, Alberta. I really love it in there. Beautiful nature, beautiful people. You hardly meet more friendly people in the world than Canadians.
So for sure you have the connections in USA. You can maybe ask someone to do it for you so you can overcome that challenge to have the reach maybe in USA market.
Yeah. That's what we're thinking actually. Growing a bootstrap, it's a really hard thing because you're financing everything out of your pocket. And unless you got some traction and you got some paying clients, which we started April, we got few paying clients from different industries. And it's a hard thing to do, but not impossible. And even if it's impossible, I don't take impossible as an impossible. You need to break it somehow, so just find a way. most valuable thing we got out of our customers was feedback. Like anything they get back to us, like, okay, guys, we would really appreciate analytics, from one of the small marketing company in here. They're like, oh, we need analytics. We talked to other guys in Norway. Oh, we would appreciate if you guys do some little tweaks in here and there. So
Mhm.
good thing in our position is we can really iterate fast. If they tell us in the morning, we can start implementing next day, and day after it is done for testing. So
Yeah.
that's a good thing.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, definitely that's good power to have when the company is smaller, so you can make those changes very quickly. With the bigger companies, obviously the process takes much longer.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and then so you said before you started the X-Road Studio, you had the other thing where you were doing everything bespoke for the client. It took a lot of time. So, but is there anything you would still do bespoke for people if they would be like having any specific needs? Is that an option to work with you on a bespoke basis if they want a little bit more? Let's say they use it and they're like, oh, that's good. I like the guys. I would like now to do anything else with them,
Mhm.
but not actually sure if they are doing it or not. So are there options with you still do more?
Yeah, for sure. We're open to any kind of business with an IT expertise. We're able to do custom applications. We can build them, we can test them, and ship them out quite fast, actually, because we're living in a AI agentic time. But we're not a vibe coders. You know, we do things the proper way. So security, all the compliances, everything need to be set, and you stick to rules. You give people valuable product that is top notch, and they are usually coming back. And we don't have a problem to build automations and everything. We just picked that point where we wanted to try SaaS, the whole box solution, so we can try to scale it a little more. Because on that automation side, we did before for different kind of customers from Riyadh, UAE, from Tokyo. We had customers from Norway and Canada, obviously, some customers from US. It was really hard to scale it because that customer came with a certain problem. We solved that problem, and he was coming back maybe for some little tweaks here and there, but you cannot really sell that solution 100x,
Yeah,
1000x. It's
yeah,
custom solution.
yes, yes, for sure. Okay, and then I have a question because obviously obviously in X-Road Studio, there is a lot of different AIs which are connected to it, like different AIs for different things, from obviously Nano Banana, ChatGPT, all the different tools. And what is your favorite tool? Is there anything which you like the most at the moment? Like if you would just narrow it down to the biggest ones, not the specific tools, but like ChatGPT, Grok, Gemini, Perplexity, maybe Claude. Like, is there any which you like usually is it go-to tool where you're like, if you want to find out something, or is it like every tool used for something different and it really varies on the what you want to ask?
Yeah, well, that really depends what you want to accomplish, because there's a lot of different kind of tools. First of all, those are just tools. You still need to have a vision. You need to be that person in a loop that is actually pointing that right direction. But if you want to create images, well, I would say ChatGPT got really better in that in the last few months. It is really amazing what it can do, even with actual images. It's quite fast
Mm-hmm.
and cheap.
Mm-hmm.
For the video, I would say some of the models like VO3 is not too bad. Sora is really good. If you want to go for a coding assistant, I would go for Cloud Code because they released Opus 4.8 actually like 11 hours ago or something like that. And it's really amazing what it can do. You can also
Mm-hmm.
use Codex from OpenAI. That's a really powerful tool for pretty much everything. And I really like to actually stack it up and have my skill based and have all my knowledge about a business, about the clients privately on a private server, so no one else can access my data, and actually use these agents to operate within a company. So it acts like another 2 or 3 employees. And I think in the near future, there will be really quite a bit of small starting businesses that will be operating like way bigger companies for way less cost. Because
Yeah.
it's amazing what you can do. You can use your Cloud Code to actually get you leads. You can automate your messaging system, your warm-up messages, your cold emailing campaigns. You can automate most of it. If you're good with a voice, you can also partially automate some results out of cold calling. You
Mhm.
can
Mhm.
automate partially your ads on a Meta, on a Google, and of course through Extra Studio, you can automate even output on a social media, which we actually working on it. My partner, she's been working since morning on the implementation of Simple GPT
Mhm.
to actually being able to call on your phone and say, "Hey, I just made a picture, and I need to have my post on a LinkedIn tomorrow 4 p.m. Can you prep me a text and post it out?" And it will prepare it for you. For
Yes.
Claude, it is way simpler, but people like simple things. You need to solve a problem. You don't need the technicalities. It's just you tell your Claude, ChatGPT, or whatever tool you're using, okay, do it for me, and it will just call Extra Studio and do it for you. And all of a sudden, 4 p.m. next day, you got your post right there. So it is amazing what you can do when you know how to delegate your work to these agents.
Yeah, for sure. Like you mentioned, like there needs to be some vision. 100%, you people need to have the vision. They need to know what is it they are after. Like they need to, if for example it's business, they need to have some kind of a business vision. Like, okay, I want to take the business in here. This is my voice. This is how I am. But then when you train the AI on that, then you can we have the strategy. You can really go and like, hey, do this and this and this. And I really like that idea because I very often like it's about this. Net time, no extra time when to do these things. So sometimes I'm just driving and I just speak to AI and coming with an ideas or even like things, comparing different things.
Mhm.
But just go and say like, hey, okay, I just had this idea, like we obviously you help us to get the bestseller on the book a couple of days ago. So I'm like, I just had an idea. I want to create the post, which I'm actually now, and about the book cover, and I want to create a poll for people. Give me 2 options how this cover can look like. This is the Kindle version as I did. I need the physical copy. Can you go and give me some ideas how it can look like, and then send it to my even like a group of people and create the poll for me. So these kind of things at the moment it's a lot of building and a lot of connections in order to work properly, because I had someone who built something similar for me like a year ago, but then it crashed. It didn't kind of remember all the data.
Mhm.
So it's still in progress, but like this kind of things to do on the go, like obviously, I like, watching the Avengers and like, you see the Tony Stark and his, AI, like his Jarvis, like that
Jarvis,
kind
yeah.
of, like,
That's
yeah.
very cool. Nowadays it is possible. It is real world, and actually, I like that when I'm driving somewhere to some event or talk to clients. I really like to talk to AI in a car because you got some time. Still don't have an autonomous car to drive and work 100% when I'm driving. So you at least can talk to AI and sort of brainstorm your ideas. And if you have your agent connected to your phone and your agent is running somewhere background on the server, it can take care of all of the things. For example, your book cover. And it showed up so fast. I was like, oh, that's actually a pretty good idea. And I was actually one of the first people in the group that clicked on that B
Yeah,
offer.
you voted.
I'm like, yeah, it looks really good and I like it. You should post this one.
Yeah. And it's funny because, like, I actually tried a few different ones, but then, for example, like at the moment, I don't actually use ChatGPT as that, but I don't obviously know exactly how Perplexity really works because I think they are connected to all the other ones. But this one, for example, was created by Perplexity. I tried to create the images in our AI, in the Profit Mine AI. It's not there. Claude, no, not really good. Perplexity at the moment is creating me the best images. And I don't know if it's a ChatGPT there or not. I actually don't know. Yeah, like different AI can be good for different things. And I really enjoy also Claude because with Claude, like so easy to, like, I'll give you an example. It's so funny because we've been on holidays in Italy and we've been on a wedding. And then on the wedding, the guys were getting married. They are kind of working for a guy. They are selling a game. It's something like a chess, but it's more simple to explain, and it's with kind of animals. And it's a strategy game which you play, on the board. Like you don't even have a board; you have the tiles. Okay. And we've been on the wedding, and we bought the game 4 days before we arrived here in Scotland, so we can practice and we can play with them because they are really into it. And then we spoke with the guy who was getting married, and he's like, "Hey, do you know that is the inventor of this game in here?" on the wedding. So he introduced us and he invented the game 25 years ago and he has a lot of other games. So my daughter played with him the game. She challenged him. She's 10. She didn't win, obviously. He invented it. But I have a photo. It was great. And then we were going for a castle 3 days later for like a nice castle. And the castle looked like a tile, not like the hexagonal, but like octagonal. And my daughter, she was keep asking me like, how can I make money? And sometimes she comes and clean my office and different things. And then she had an idea. What about we create the game? He created the game. Why we don't create the game? I'm like, that's a very good idea. So we start brainstorming when we were walking, what kind of a game we can create. And then in 1 hour, we have a prototype of the game, which is playable on HTML version. And we build it with Claude Cowork. And we have the rules, we have everything already named, and we basically get the Claude to run scenarios if the game is playable with what we said. We are tweaking it. We tested a few times. We still need to test it more times because it's not there yet. But I'm like, so good what we can create in such a short period of time. In the past, like, I don't even imagine how we would be able to create a game and come up with the strategies, how it could make sense. But now we can be testing it in that HTML version on our phone or laptop. I'm like, wow, it's crazy.
Wow. That's actually admirable. She's got a business mind. That's really good. That's a good thing. Actually, for that creation part, all of the AI models, if you take it from Claude, it doesn't really matter whichever you're using. But funny thing is, creation is the one part. You can create amazing things. You can systemize strategies. Either it is board games or business strategies, doesn't really matter. You can create whatever you want, software, physical things, you name it. I know some people that are creating 3D models for 3D printers with the AI. Parts you couldn't even imagine that would be working. An engineer would take like 2-3 months or maybe even more just to come up with that idea how to create it. AI is really powerful with that. What it is not powerful enough in is communication with people, relationships that doesn't really handle well. And thing is distribution. And that's the thing on our side, we will keep for a really long time because you can create amazing thing. Like a Ray Kroc said, you can really have a best burger in the world, but unless no one knows about that burger, it's pointless. So that's the really good thing to have in mind when you're creating something. Because as of now, I can see a lot of different kind of applications coming up every single day. Every 15-year, 20-year-old one in North America who's got a laptop and some $20 or $200 subscription for some tool can create amazing stuff that wasn't really able to do 2, 3, 4 years ago, even with high-end senior developers. It wasn't simply possible to do that in such a short time. And it will be even faster because that development within AI industry is really fierce.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's well said, because like in anything in a business, like you need to have the most important, which I learned from JT, is a relationship capital. You can have all the products, you can have everything what you have, but if you have nothing, nobody to sell to, and if you don't have the relationship with people, it's useless to you. It's going to stay in a drawer or in your laptop these days. So it's very important to be focusing on those things. And I know there is a lot of people, they like to create things and they are behind the scenes and creating all the things, but they don't know how to sell it. They don't know how to get it to the people. And then one of the most powerful things is the relationships. Like you can meet more people you meet, and it's not about selling them what you have. It's about giving them value and asking them what they need. That more is going to get out there. And I can see that, especially also with doing these podcasts. Like I had the podcast with Katya month ago. We spoke in the morning because of AI things. And she gave me a list of what everything she wants the AI to be doing for her. At the moment, she told me what she's using, but she told me what she wants to be doing. And then I said, okay, take your time, because I gave you another lot of ideas what you can use it for. So give me a list by the end of the weekend, and then I'll see if we can do something about it. If some tools already we have access to, which can help you, but we can also build maybe something on a bespoke for her. But it's about having those relationships and being able to sell it, because a lot of people, they'll not succeed because there is so many people can create things very easily. Yeah. So it's very important. And then I would like to also ask, when you feel like, down with, yourself, let's say mentally, or, I don't know, business not going the right way, or something happened in life, what helps you to go back up? Because a lot of people, they get stuck and they are like in that dip. And in that book, which you bought, actually, I have there multiple stories I'm sharing about it. So how do you get back up?
Main thing in this to keep your mental health ready all the time is just to go out and communicate with people. That works for me. If I'm feeling down, something goes wrong, and it is usually, that's life, that's business. It goes this way and then goes down, and you stay down in that valley for a long time until it kicks little up and then just pushes you down, and you need to figure it out how to go up again. It's not constant. It's just up and downs all the time. So that happens. That's life. But most of the things that help me is just communication with people. That's why I like to talk to people. And actually, most of the best customers we actually have is from clear communication, like friend to friend, talking and just solving their problems. Business is just side thing it's just side outcome of all of that communication and helping each other. That's a really nice thing. And another thing that helps me, just exhaust the body and tame your mind. I just hit rock climbing and go for a cycling, some physical activity. Stay out of the computer, stay out of emails, let your iPhone
Going.
Yeah. And just keep it out in an office on a table and get out, clear your head. And it's funny when you're out there in a forest, just riding your mountain bike or whatever you're doing, just switch off, and all of a sudden your mind is a little clearer. You got better vision of what you want to do. That's what I'm doing, and it helps me a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it because, so firstly, like the idea from the game with my daughter. So we finished the castle visit, and she was like, we're going back to the car. I'm like, no, we are going for a walk around that castle. She's like, for a walk. And I'm like, yeah, we are going for a walk. It was really warm. And I'm like, no, we are going. And then in that moment, she had an idea, because we didn't go back to the car. We went more in the nature. And then that's why for example, the mastermind, what I'm doing for my clients that are coming in here in Scotland, they actually don't know about it as much. I only told them what to bring. But, basically, will be 3 days outdoor. They don't even know. I can say it now because the mastermind is in starting 8th of June. So it's in 10 days. And then this will be released later. So I can say we're going to go for hiking in the mountains here in Scotland. We're going to go for wild swimming in the cold lakes. We're going to be actually camping. They don't even know about it. I have a tent. We're going to be camping, having a fire and all these things, because a lot of those people that are coming and they are from cities and maybe some of them never camp and things like that. And I'm taking them to the nature because I want them to be connected, because then they will come with the ideas for their business, what else they can do. And it's very important. And then 2 days we'll be in here in our training room and things like that. But it's this is when people come up with these ideas, and it always works for me, the nature. And I'm bringing also people to do the same when we do some events like that. Not always, but the Scotland one, because I live here, I can organize it like that. And I know people will come up with those ideas because the nature is so powerful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm just thinking about what you mentioned, the rock climbing. It's actually a good idea because I also do rock climbing and I have the equipment.
Mm-hmm.
I would just need another harness to borrow from someone, because I have only one and one small. Where I can maybe take them to actually a place where I know we can go climbing outside and I have all the tools. So that would be maybe a good challenge for them to do. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really cool experience. I love that. We took a couple of friends when we used to live in Alberta. Rockies were real close playgrounds. So big walls, 500-600 meters walls. You spend 12, 16 hours in the wall climbing, like steep, and it was amazing. And we took a couple of friends. They never went to climbing. We took them on a short wall, like 80 or 90 meters. It was amazing. They were scared to death. They're like, oh no, we're not climbing that. But once they started, and they were like, wow, that's actually amazing, And main thing about rock climbing I love most is you completely switched off from the other problems in the world. Your business is on fire. You don't have a client. There are invoices to pay and stuff. But at that moment, you're present. You're on a rock and just figuring out your next move. And that's a really good analogy for the business, because if you stop in a business and you just take a step back, wider look at your business and figuring out, okay, what should I do next? Just be present in that moment. And that's what I love about doing a business and actually doing a rock climbing as well.
Yeah. And if you go rock climbing free solo, then maybe no invoices needs to be paid.
Geez, no, I'm not that brave, and I do have a kiddo, so there are some responsibilities. That's not my cup of tea.
Yeah. But anyway, so thank you very much for sharing today everything about the business. And then as well, if maybe you would be coming to UK at some point, that there is very nice places to go for climbing, actually in the Lake District, they are. So it's not very far from me. So maybe we can do something and go for some climbing. It will be cool.
Yeah, sure. Looking forward to it. Not planning going to UK at least this summer, but we'll see, maybe fall. We'll see.
Yeah. We can organize something.
So
thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me. And I'll be more than happy if you try X-Road and post as much as you can. Test it out and just give us a feedback.